Hello and welcome to a very special edition of NRL Fantasy. I'm Paulie G, joined by Luke Seifleet, and we're going to pick our consensus team.
Let's do it, Paulie.
Days away, season opener is almost here. Maybe you are new to fantasy, you don't know where to start, or maybe you're all set with your 21, but you just want to double check it over with somebody else. Either way, at the end of this video, you are going to have a roster that Luke and I believe can take you very far in your head-to-head leagues and indeed the overall rankings. Luke, let's start with our captain. Felt like this was not going to be an easy consensus one until we heard the news about Nicho Hynes ruled out for round one. Therefore, second man now, Nathan Cleary straight in.
Nathan Cleary picks himself, captain for mine. No-brainer.
Those who have watched our off-season videos will know we are both keen to get some keepers in the mid positions. So the one that we liked the most out of the pre-season challenge was Pat Carrigan.
Had a good World Cup, looked strong. I think he's primed for a big year.
And straight in.
Yep.
Now we need to go to your favourite team for our third pick. They look rejuvenated in attack. We can double down on the injury risk. Why not?
Yep.
And we can pick up...
It's turbo time.
Turbo time.
Beautiful.
Okay, three big names. Let's start and try and save a bit more money now. Let's pick a player or two that really impressed in the pre-season challenge. I know you love the Eels' new signing, so do I. So let's go to the Eels.
Yep.
Listed as edge for now, but this will turn into dual position because he's been named at 13. Jermaine Hopgood, a potential cut price keeper.
And like TK said too, part of the pack, no-brainer signing for me. Put him in.
Also during the pre-season, there was guys like Lockie Miller from the Knights and Tanner Boyd from the Titans. So if we go to wing fullbacks for Lockie Miller, and then of course for the Titans, we'll put him in for half for now, shall we?
And a lot of people might have him on their reserves as well,
yeah.
but he's fundamentally going to be part of your side.
Dual position, a good 14.
Yep.
Let's go back to mid for a minute. You mentioned TK.
Yep.
And if you haven't watched our 5-part series about setting up your lineup, do yourself a favour, do that.
Yep.
It's at NRL.com. You would have heard about him, if you did see it, called Following the Pack.
Yep.
You mentioned that word before. That's what we want to do here. Brandon Smith. He has a very high ownership, can play dual position. We'll just pop him in the middle for now. Part of the reason of picking up Brandon Smith is because you don't want to miss out if he turns out to be a good scorer.
And everyone's going to have him like you said.
Picked at 9, we assume this is going to happen.
That's right.
Another strong pack pick, and I know they've got the bye in round 1, Tyrell Sloan.
High upside.
He didn't wow as much.
Very
as
high
hoped,
upside.
Right?
Didn't wow as much as he hoped. Yeah.
And of course the bye, but then he'll be back next week.
And as you can probably see by our strategy here, our wing fullbacks are probably going to be a little bit on the cheaper side.
Yeah.
A couple of high-end guys, but a lot of cheap. So you've got to, at the end of the day, you've got to pick some high upside players.
I'd love to go back to the edge position because I know that this was the one where we really saw some value. So let's have a look at some guys. T. Wilton, Trent Liero, Alessia Katoa, and Luke Garner. And then I want to add 2 more actually, Jackson Ford and Egan Butcher. They really came on in that final, well, both games in the case of Ford and Butcher in the last one. What's your favourite?
Egan Butcher for me. I thought he was just the standout of the pre-season. I mean, he running those hard lines like we talked about, those Boyd Cordner lines. High, like you said, high base. I mean, that trial against Manly, didn't have much ball, but he still got a 40. I mean, what's he going to get with proper ball?
I've named 6 guys, we only picked 1. We could almost go back up right away.
I think it's best to describe this though as like, these are the overall, this is like our platter.
Cheaper salaries.
Yeah. Depending on how you want to play, I think these are all guys that are very, very viable.
Shall we lock in another one?
Yep, lock it in.
Jackson Ford.
Yep.
Dual position.
And starting this week.
Starting this week.
All-round depth. I think that's the key this year. I think it's all-round depth. Or having enough coverage for your squad, but at the same time, not weakening certain positions to strengthen others. Having all-round depth because you're going to need it for your buys.
Yeah. Let's go to some cheapies or cash cows, as they can be called now. These are players who are at the bottom end of the price, but expected to get enough game time to make you some money. And of course, you can build your salary cap for later in the year. I think the first one to look at is the Storm winger, who's going to get plenty of opportunities, right? Because there was a lot of injuries in their back line. So if we just go to wing fullback, and he's been named on the wing, 230. You can't get cheaper than that in this game. Will Warbrick. Yeah. So he sits on the bench for now, but
and I think he's going to get plenty of game time.
Could end up
make you some money. Yep.
The next cheapie is the same price, but he's actually in this important centre position. It's the toughest position in fantasy to fill.
Yeah.
And he's been named. We thought he would, and it's come good. Paul Alamotti for the
Looks strong too in the trials too. I think there was a bit of uncertainty, but I think trials have really stamped his role there. So I think he's good selection.
We're in consensus for most of these right now, but we're going to start to have a bit more, debate.
Yeah.
Maybe the second centre position, trying to go cheap again, is that role. I mean, you could go a guy like Tommy Talau. You could go Harley Smith-Shields.
Yep.
Right, they both can play there. But if you look at the Rabbitohs, I know he went off early in the Charity Shield, but Isaac Thompson, 319. Do you go him? Is it a case of picking the club over the...
I will personally, and then exactly what you took the words out of my mouth. I'm picking Isaac Thompson because of the team he's on. I think he's going to get a lot of ball from Latrell. I think he's worth a shot to me.
All right. 13 players picked, $6.1 million spent. Still got over 3.8 left on the cap. That's an average of $475K per remaining player. And you'll note something. Haven't picked a starting hooker yet.
Yep.
Got a couple of options.
Yes, this is where it gets interesting.
Brandon Smith, Tanner Boyd, they're both in our team. Neither of them, we can play at hooker, but neither of them are there for us. I think they'll be useful more as backups, right?
Yep.
Because you mentioned buys earlier in the year, there's also injuries, other things can happen.
Yep.
Maybe if we pick an origin player, that could happen too, right? So, do we go top price?
Are we going the premium,
Damien
top class?
Cook, Harry Grant, Reece Robson, or do we try and save some money? Reid Marnie, even Aaron Clark, named on the bench, will play middle, but you can put him in hooker. Which way are you thinking?
I'm going premium. I'm going Harry Grant. I think he's just due, especially with Brandon Smith going to the Roosters this year. More game time for him. I think it's our real first, outside of Cleary, it's our first real premium signing.
He looks in form.
Yep.
Let's here get it a bit stronger, right?
Yeah.
Let's pick a real top end middle. Can we afford Cam Murray? I mean, he went great in the Charity Shield.
That's probably the trade-off, to be honest, Paulie. I mean, we've gone Harry Grant. I don't think we can go Murray as well. That's probably where we're going to be different a bit, but I think we're probably going to have to go...
So you've got Tarpanay, you've got Haas. I mean, they're very consistent. Or do you try and save some money? Ruben Cotter's the other one?
I believe so. I think Ruben Cotter's starting at prop this week. I think...
Just a little bit cheaper than Tarpanay.
And that's the little things that matter because we're going for a team that's all round, plenty of backup, plenty of value.
6 bench spots left to fill. Remember, with the buys this year, we want 18, even 19 players who can start any given...
Have to be strategic, that's right.
Right. There are some affordable options if we look down. Is there any that you noticed? Maybe another mid?
I believe so. I think he plays for Canterbury. I think we're going Ryan Sutton.
We liked him anyway, but now no TPJ.
Yeah. Teamless
Luke
Tuesdays
Thompson,
changed it, yeah.
It's really changed it. So this is a guy who for $490 could really be an interesting pickup.
Yeah, it could be 55 minutes as well. 55, 60 minutes, real good value there, I think.
Okay. Still got one more position to fill to get out our 17, and I think we've got enough money to go back to the edge position. Teague Wilton's a good option. Maybe he's a little bit too expensive. What about the Storm back rowers? They're both been named Liero and Katoa. Which one do you prefer?
I like Liero first up.
See, I like Katoa.
No, well, this is why it's good, a consensus team. So how are we going to
squeeze him in though? He's more.
How are we going to negotiate this?
448. Liero 389. I still like Katoa.
Okay.
I like what he did at the Warriors. I like him running off Shaun Johnson. I think Hughes and Munster will be great for him. Let's see if we can squeeze him in, eh?
Good all-round value there.
We've still got some money left. We need to start getting guys though who are 230 or 250, right? I've got to say, my West Tigers, Sean Blore, he's been named in round 1. We don't know what's happening with John Bateman.
Yes, that's
We're trying to save a bit of money. Is it worth the risk for the reward? I mean, he's been up and coming for years now, but the injuries have worked.
I believe so. I think it's the same logic we applied to Sloane, except to different circumstances. So, had an injury, had a setback. I think he's too talented not to be playing.
Yeah.
And I think now he's got to take opportunity with both hands and basically start for the Tigers.
He's got a break even of 17.
I think he'll get that.
He should get that, and even if he moves to the bench in round 2 or 3, let's hope that he keeps making some money.
But like you said, he keeps making you some money. Exactly right.
That still leaves us with $1 million.
Good value.
We could go like a guy like Tom Gilbert, and then just 2 out-and-out cheapies, or maybe 3 players around that 300k, 400k. It's a bit more certainty with that.
Yeah.
Would you want to go the big name, or do you want to go 3 middle?
I like more certainty personally. I think we've got to go with the people we're going to rely on. Like we talked about on all other shows, is that you don't want to have too many low price guys because you get into trouble and a couple of them don't work out, it's hard to get out of that hole.
So if we have a look at our halves and we look at guys that are sort of around this 300 to 400, maybe even a bit cheaper.
Yep.
There's two there that I've just popped up. This guy,
Yeah.
Isaiah Katoa.
Yep.
He was named in the halves for round 1. There is some uncertainty over his job position.
But again, he performed in the trials. He took that opportunity.
But then you got Tamaria Martin.
Yeah. So what are we going to do here, Paul?
Well, who
are we going to split?
Who do you think's more likely to have?
I think we're going to disagree here. I'm going Martin purely for the stability. I know that sounds crazy. I know you like Katoa. Oh, yeah, exactly. But again, like we talked about with the last one, I like the certainty over more the mystery. So
Martin gives us wing fullback cover as well. Let's put him in, because then it still gives us some good cash with 2 remaining. 2 spots to go. We still need centre cover. I mentioned Talau and Harley Smith-Shields earlier. They're very affordable. Is that what you're thinking now?
This is where it gets really, really tough. Talau scored a try in the trials, did he not? Can you rely on that, or can you rely more on the Harley Smith-Shields?
I don't rely on Talau.
Okay.
Because we've seen enough. Smith-Shields is a young guy with potential. He's playing in the centres for the Raiders for now. He could end up playing multiple positions. He could win a dual position.
I feel so too, yeah.
Let's just put him in.
Yep.
He's only going to be in our emergencies, and it leaves us with 463k for our final spot. That's not bad.
It's not bad. Who's remaining? Who's going to be our last pick, Paulie?
Well, the question is that do we just go the nearest guy and max out our cap, or do we actually say let's try and save a bit of money? Because you can see some of these players here, probably not fantasy relevant.
No.
Mark Nichols didn't get named.
Yeah. If he started.
Mitch Kenny, if we didn't have Sonny Luke on the bench, it's quite difficult. So if we just drop down that little bit more to the 300 to 400, then all of a sudden
opens up.
It opens it up. And I've got to say,
a certain Tiger, you think?
Well, he's very affordable. He's got the starting role. I know you like him.
Yeah, I do.
So if we're thinking consensus, I think we could lock it in.
And there, right there too, we've got 67k. And what we talked about before, don't dig yourself a hole. Have a good all-round team. So if a couple of these guys on the bottom don't work out, you can easily get out of it.
So now we've just got to set our 17 for round 1. Obviously, Terrell Sloan has to come out.
So we're going to replace him with Warbrick, yeah?
We can change him for either Warbrick or Martin. I'm going to say just for now, Martin.
Oh, I like it.
Right?
I like it.
I've got my reasonings for that in a minute, okay? Now, Warbrick you just mentioned, but we're going to go Uto.
Yep. I agree with that, 100%.
Now we need to choose our captain and vice captain.
That's a nice bench though, Paulie.
It's a nice bench. Nathan Cleary.
Yep, no brainer.
See, what do you reckon about Harry Grant for vice?
Yeah, I think so. He'll be my vice.
And I talked about not putting Warbrick in the actual starting line. There's a reason for that.
Hit me.
We can put him here. If he scores 30 or more, simply swap Sloan with Tamaria Martin. So Martin and Sloan swap, you'll get Warbrick's points because Sloan isn't playing. Little emergency loophole you can use.
You've got to play the schedule. That's the big thing too. Play the schedule.
So we're set up pretty well. Take a snapshot, if you want, of this team. You feel free to copy and paste it. It is Luke's and I's consensus team. So you're not stealing from us. It's not our individual team. You can still play against us in your head-to-head leagues, or TK, or Andrew. Simply pick from the experts drop-down menu in your head-to-head leagues, and who knows, you might end up beating all of us. Or maybe you just tweak your own team with this information, right?
Take a sprinkle of it, like use your idea and mix it with your own. That's what it's all about.
Good luck to everyone. Fantasy kicks off this Thursday night. Make sure you register and get all your head-to-head leagues sorted out before then at nrl.com/fantasy, and go to nrl.com for all your fantasy news and highlights.